Today I'll show an Indian action drama film from 2021 titled Pushpa The Rise. Watch out and take care. The movie opens with the narrator telling the story about the marriage function in Japan. He tells that in this function bride gives red sandalwood, which is a very rare wood that only grows in the Chatelaine hills of the Chicken or district in Andhra Pradesh. This red sandalwood is being smuggled abroad from India. The story isn't about red sandalwood, it's about a labor who became a part of smuggling syndicate. Now we see a truck and police car is running behind the truck, then we sees Pushpa's entry. He's trying to bribe police, but police is not listening when Possible says he'll pay 1 lakh per head, then police stops their car, then push for distribute 1 lakh rupees to every single cop. Now the movie flashbacks to 1 year ago. Possible was working in a mill, but it left a job for the sake of his respect and reputation. He asked for his resignation when the higher officials of the factory asked him to put down his leg, which was resting on his other thigh, with full attitude. This was the time when one of the workers said that one day Pushpa's attitude would either destroy them or would make him a very successful person. When he left, another worker named Keshava followed the steps in the company Pushpa. Then they started working for the team of smugglers who smuggled red sanders. Here they were paid more than their previous place the very first time when the workers' team, which also included Pushpa, his accomplice Keshava, were cutting the wood. There was a raid by a small team of police officers, as a result of which all workers thought of leaving the wood, which they had cut, and run for their lives, but it was Possible who gave them confidence. He made a plan, which succeeded. They had tied up all the wood logs high above their heads, and when the police team came, they pretended to come there to raise their cattle. The workers were introduced to DSP Gavin Napa, and it was Possible who challenged the officer and made them afraid of their numbers in front of those few police officers. Following which the DSP and his team left the place. Next day government again comes there, but this time he arranged his forces double and triple comfortably as previous, pushback with his loaded truck. Try to escape from there, but police is after him, and then somehow push for managers to hide truck, and he reaches in front of Gavin. Now government took him behind the bars. They kept torturing Pushback, but he's not revealing where he hid in the loaded truck of sandalwood. Further in story, 3 people are introduced. First is Jolly Reddy, second is Jack Reddy, and third is Kinda Reddy. Jacket was the one who used to handle the business. On the other hand, Jolly was a womanizer and also had very little awareness of the urgency of any situation. Kinda Reddy was very dangerous. One day, in order to take revenge from a gang, he exploded the bomb, in which he lost his left hand. Jack already arrives at police station and says to Pushpa, "I heard that you didn't tell any cops whose goods it is, even after police torturing you badly. Now Kondo is asking where you hidden our goods. Then Pushpa made a deal in which you will reveal the location of the truck in exchange of 5 lakh rupees thereafter. To give him 5 lakhs rupees after taking the truck, Pushpa buys a new van. From that money, Counter is worrying about his business because police is searching all vehicle on the way. Then it's difficult to transport sandalwood. Then Pushpa gave his skillful ideas which the team could use to smuggle those words. Without the interjection of the police, Kinda Reddy and others were impressed. They used to hide the wood logs in the base of the tankers and then with seal it, following which the tanker was filled with milk. In the next scene we Pushpa likes a girl and her name is Ravali, but Ravali doesn't think about Pushpa, even she never gives him a look. Bengal, I'm certain it was a merciless dealer who managed the Red Sanders syndicate. His wife actually Nicole's Kinda Reddy, her maternal uncle. Sure, anyone trust Kinda Reddy to keep his 200 tons of stock safe, and finding Jolly incompetent, the task was given to Pushback to handle, but Gavin Dapa bribed 2 of their workers to find out that location. However, before the police could raid pass but got the news, following this purged everyone to throw the wood logs into the flowing river and handle Kashaba with a bag filled with cash to go and ride the official to stop the flow the dam so that they could save the wood logs from flowing away, and according to their will the plan was a success. Following there's a huge party was thrown in which Pushpa was also invited. At the party there were people from high societies like politicians, genie businessman, and all overhears that Serena was selling the wood in a much higher rate than what they are paid. So he urged Kinda Reddy to ask him for an explanation, but looking back at their old relations and the risk of doing so, he thought of leaving it. Later Kasava talks does Ravali's father for the marriage for Pushpa. Next day Pushpa comes with her mother to Cervelli's house to Caesar Valley. But Pushpa was half-brother disrupt his engagement ceremony, during which part of his mother gets injured. This motivates possible to rise higher in life, but before going to Chennai he had also met Renu to ask him one final time, but he refused. And then fans got to see a sequence of actions following which Pushpa smuggled wood directly to Chennai and grabbed a deal to sell the word superscript 1.5 quarts per ton condo and push. But agree to share equally. Later Jolly Reddy got to know about the informer who governed Applehead ride to dig out the pieces of information. One of the informer was the father of Cervelli. Cervelli came there and was asked by Zhu, I'll be ready to spend the night with him, and held her father captive as an excuse before going there. Cervelli went to Push's house to open her heart, following which page but we both emotional. As well as enraged, as a result of which the attack Jolly and made them temporarily paralyzed. But as a matter of shame Jolly didn't open his mouth that you had beaten him. But he is assured of taking his revenge when kinda got to know the possible was behind the attack on Jolly. He took him to a secluded place to kill him, but that time Sweeney's men came and Kondo was killed in the ambush bug. Pushpa had escaped and it also saved Jacket from getting killed. And earn his trust possible, then captured and killed the brother-in-law of Srinu. Following this he invited the enmity of that Jani the MP Bamireddy, so dapper knight you had, an appointed Pushpa to manage their syndicate. When he got to know that certain it was baffling them push but earn his trust after he cracked the deal at superscript 1.5 crores. Bruton, following which Posh P saw his brightest time, but then a ruthless police officer band were saying Checkit would take charge of the district's SP. And when he bullied Pushbutton the same way as his half-brother, it seems that Checkit with and his brother were together. Check in with made Push call him sir, and to everyone's surprise Pushpa behaved very nicely after the incident, which took place in their first meeting. The climax came on his wedding day when he was consuming alcohol on a hilltop with Shakir. Where he took his revolver and shot himself in his hand and then made Shakit would get undressed while he to do the same. Then he told him that even after he was undressed people with Saludas power. But in the case of Shak away not even his dog would recognize him, and the same thing happened. Possible went to the wedding venue while wearing his underwear, and Check with 2 went without clothes, and interestingly his dog was unable to recognize him, and so he killed his dog and then he burned the bribe money would you use to take from Pushpa. On the other hand, Possible since to carry on his wedding ring jewels Windsor Valley. Ask him that what was the matter and if everything was okay. He replied that the fire is now glowing with a full flame. Someone had misunderstood Posh pose a flower, so he made him understand that will push but it's fire. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. See you next time. Movie Lovers Recap.